So this Instant Pot chicken and rice recipe is the solution for those super busy weeks when maybe you're just cooking for yourself and you want to get something in the fridge that's simple and comforting and healthy without having 4 of those identikit meals, because it's just so boring, isn't it? And we're going to make this all in one pot, keep down the washing up, and then I'm going to tell you about 4 ways that you can serve this up so it feels like you're having 4 different meals without all that effort. And if you're cooking for 2, that's good too. Just double up the recipe. And I've taken inspiration for this dish from a classic burrito bowl, but with a couple of tweaks to suit the way I like to eat. That's keeping things healthy, but also keeping things delicious. So we're going to use brown basmati rice, and that gives a lovely nutty flavour and also a bit of extra fibre, always good. We're using boneless, skinless chicken thigh fillets today. Chicken thighs work really well for pressure cooking. They won't dry out and they shred really beautifully. We've got some salsa. I'm using a tomatillo salsa today, but I've also made this with a more traditional chipotle style salsa, which was delicious. We have got our special spice mix. That's an ottolenghi spice mix, not sponsored by the way. So here I've got about the equivalent of a can of black beans. I'm using my own cooked from dried black beans, which is really easy to do in the Instant Pot, and then I freeze them in cup-sized portions ready to go. And then we're using frozen sweet corn, again a nice store cupboard ingredient. And then we've got some veggie stock, which was just made up with vegetable bouillon powder. All of the ingredients will be in the description below, and don't be worried about varying it up. Just keep the ratios right in terms of how much rice and liquid you use. Very important for this dish. And I'm Susan from Cooking and Calm, and here we're all about finding ways to eat well, save a bit of time, and keep it a bit calm in the kitchen no matter what is going on out there. Okay, now let's show you how easy this is. So first we're going to pop in our black beans. So you drain yours if you're using a can, and then add a lovely spice mix, black pepper. And I'm not going to salt at this point because this stock is often very salty, so I salt it at the end when I'm using these powdered stocks. And pour in the stock. And we get the sweet corn in there. Just give that a little stir around. Your black beans won't be in an ice cube like mine, but it makes no difference in the Instant Pot. It gets hot and we'll defrost those, no problem. So now we're going to add our rice, and we're not going to stir. So hold off on your spoon now. And we will just pop all of that rice into the water. Now we've got the rice on top, and I've just sort of patted it down a little bit so it's slightly under the water. So we're not stirring it. Now we're going to add that lovely salsa. This is going to give it a lot of flavour. And again, I'm just sort of spreading that across a bit. No need to stir. Just trying to keep everything in its layers, but also just spread it about a bit so every bit of rice gets a bit of that salsa love. And our final layer is all about getting those chicken thighs on top. And the chicken thighs don't need to be submerged, they can just sit on top. And that pressure cooker is going to cook them up beautifully. So we'll just finish up with a bit of seasoning. So let's get our lid on. Oh, wrong way around. So the Instant Pot lid is sealed, and we're going to set it on pressure cook high, which is pressure cook more if you're using one of those older models. High. And we'll set that for 15 minutes. And then we're going to let it natural release for 10 minutes. And this is the Instant Pot Pro, and it has a little reminder bell for after 10 minutes. I'm going to take off keep warm because I don't want extra heat going on, as it might end up making the rice burn. And now just set it away to start. I told you this was an easy one, didn't I? You can do this. And if you're finding this video helpful, I'd be really grateful if you could give it a thumbs up. That helps YouTube know that I'm trying to be a helpful human. So thank you if you can do that. Let's get this lid off. And you can see that's all looking gorgeous. So let's just double check that that chicken is cooked. Oh yeah. Now all we need to do is to shred our chicken. So we'll get these out. Oh, beautifully tender. And if these were on the bone, they will be at fall off the bone at this point. And we'll, falling apart without the need to shred. There's our chicken. Hopefully you can see this is just beautifully unctuous now. All those black beans have defrosted. We can just stir them, get them evenly through the rice now. And now we can just shred these very simply. Get our chicken back in. So now you add a bit of lime, coriander, fresh herbs if you've got them. I haven't got any of those today and it still tastes good. So our first dish is a really simple burrito bowl. So we've got lots of salad and bits and whatever you've got in the fridge straight from the pot. Let's give this a taste. Oh, that tastes so good. The sweet corn stays remarkably crispy, even though it's been in the Instant Pot for ages. And the beans have kept their shape, and that's one of the joys of cooking your own beans from scratch. They are much more resilient when you're doing this second cook. So now we've got our first dish. Here's some ideas for what else you can do with this. So one of the things that's come out really well when I've been testing is to use some of this chicken and rice as a filling for quesadillas. And you can just lay a tortilla flat, spoon over some of your chicken and rice mix, add cheese, top with another tortilla, and for extra gadget points in the kitchen, you can make your quesadillas in the air fryer. Just give them a light spray with oil, pop them into your air fryer at about 190°C for about 5 to 7 minutes, but just keep checking because air fryers really vary, and then flip halfway until it's golden and crispy, cut it into wedges and serve with a side of salsa or some lovely sour cream. Really perfect for that quick lunch. Then for our third dish, we can use this chicken and rice as a filling for stuffed peppers. So just take a couple of halved bell peppers, give them a spritz with some olive oil, fill them up with your chicken and rice mixture, and then pop them into the air fryer. And for the first stage, cook them for about 10 minutes, and that's going to start to cook down those peppers and heat up your chicken and rice. And then after about 10 minutes, open up the air fryer, pop on some cheese, close that drawer, and give them another 10 to 15 minutes, and you'll have the most beautiful, comforting meal that's completely different to this one, and yet super easy because you've done all the work beforehand. And then for the final little bit that's left, you can make yourself a grab and go lunch. Take some beautiful leaves of lettuce, use those as the wrap, get your chicken and rice in there. Absolutely delicious, a light bite and super healthy lunch. And now you've seen how good black beans cooked from dried are, you need to know how to make those too, right? So as soon as I've made my video, you will see it here. But in the meantime, this is what YouTube thinks you might be interested in. I hope you like it, and I'll see you over there.